Of all the books I've ever read, my favorites have got to be Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There by Lewis Carroll. I've been collecting different editions of them for the past 5.5 years now, so I kind of own a lot. So without further ado, here's my collection. I think I'm going to start out by just showing all the regular classics like Puffin Classics, Penguin Classics, stuff like that. First up is the first copy I ever owned. This is a Signet Classic, and it includes Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. This isn't in chronological order, by the way. This is just happens to be the first one I grabbed. Next is this Puffin Classic with an introduction by Chris Riddell. The cover was also illustrated by him, but the illustrations inside are just the John Tenniel ones. Next is this tiny little Washington Square Press edition. This is one of the oldest copies I own, and it includes Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Through the Looking Glass, and The Hunting of the Snark. Once again with the Tenniel illustrations. The most recent addition to my collection as of filming this video is this Norton Critical Edition. There's the front, there's the back, and it's got the Tenniel illustrations as well. Here is a little Barnes & Noble edition. This includes Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, and it just got your standard Tenniel illustrations. This next one is one of my favorites, and it's actually one of my only copies of just Through the Looking Glass without Alice in Wonderland attached to it. But it looks like this. It is by Puffin Classics, and I love that cover. I found it at a used bookstore, and I was like, I have to have that. It has the Tenniel illustrations, by the way. A Doubleday Dolphin Master. This is Alice's Adventures Underground and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So the first half is Alice's Adventures Underground with the handwritten script and the Lewis Carroll illustrations. And then the second half is just Alice in Wonderland illustrated by Tenniel. This Lifetime Library edition is one of my only little hardcovers. And it looks like that and that, and it's so cute and I love it. And then under the dust jacket, there's nothing special, it's just like blue. This Bantam Classic includes both books. Here's the front cover, here's the back cover, and inside we have the John Tenniel illustrations once again. This Penguin Classics is one of my favorites, not only because it includes both books, but because it has annotations at the back, which I love reading alongside the books themselves. I bought this Puffin Classics used, so this sticker will just never come off until the day I die. And inside we have both Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass with the Tenniel illustrations once again. I really like the cover, it's really cute. And I think that's it for my generic classics. So let's move on to my international editions, all of which are in languages I cannot read nor speak in. First up is this German edition of Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. I really love this one. The illustrations inside are like wood carvings, and they're so pretty. And then this is the spine. Next is this French copy of Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. And it has the Tenniel illustrations, but for some reason it's printed on like this super thin Bible paper. I don't mind the super thin pages, I just find it kind of funny. This edition is also in French, but it's like a heavily abridged children's picture book. And I think all the illustrations are super, super cute. One of my favorites, and also one of the heaviest, is this Italian edition, which has a full color illustration on every single page. So yeah, I could flip through this one for hours, even though I don't know how to read it because I can't speak Italian. And the back actually includes these little CDs of the audiobooks of the books, which is really nice. And then we have the back cover. One of my favorite copies I own is this French edition illustrated by Rebecca Dautremire. I butchered that, I know I did. And the illustrations inside are just so, so pretty. And they're also one of the most unique takes on Wonderland I've ever seen. I'm obsessed with them, they're stunning. Honestly, I could hang all this art on my wall. This next edition is also in French, and another one of my favorites. It includes both Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, and has these super, super cute illustrations that I just adore. And then there's the back. This Italian edition includes illustrations by Helen Oxenbury. They're super cute, I like them a lot. And then I think that's it for my international editions. I'm just going to move on to some of my miscellaneous books. Starting with Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, the Little Folks edition. This was actually abridged by Lewis Carroll himself. And it's got little illustrations in color, which are so cute. These are the Tenniel illustrations, just colorized. I actually ordered this book online, so when I bought it, I thought it was going to be like a full-sized book, but no, it's teeny tiny, but I like that. I think it's super cute. I also like the gold edges. Alice's Adventures in Oxford is just this little booklet I found at a used bookstore one time, and it's just a little booklet about Alice in Wonderland and the inspiration for it and whatnot. Another really pretty one I own is this Sweetwater Press edition. It's got some really unique illustrations and I like them a lot. Also, I love the price tag on. Wow, This is another one of the first copies I owned. I'm pretty sure it's not by any like publishing company, it's just like independently printed. It's also printed on like printer paper instead of like book paper, and it smells like printer ink. But it includes Alice's Adventures Underground, The Hunting of the Snark, Through the Looking Glass, and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, even though I'm pretty sure some of the titles are like misspelled on here. Also, tragically, this book does not have any illustrations of any kind, which is heartbreaking. But here's the back and the spine. This is like a graphic novelization of the 2 live-action Disney movies. I've only seen the first one, but I didn't particularly care for it, if I'm being honest. However, I really like the art style in these books, and I think they're super cute, even though I'm not a huge fan of the content. Next up is this edition illustrated by Anna Bond. The dust jacket is sort of beat up because I bought it used, but the illustrations are just gorgeous. And then the cover underneath, and then the cover underneath the, and then the cover underneath the, and then the cover under, and then the cover underneath the, and then the cover, and then the cover underneath the dust jacket is also really, really gorgeous. My 2 little golden books, Alice in Wonderland Meets the White Rabbit and Alice in Wonderland. These both have illustrations inspired by the animated Disney movie, which I actually do like a lot. I think this one's originally from like the 70s, but then this one is a much more recent edition. One of my most prized possessions is the illustrators of Alice in Wonderland. This book contains a ton of different illustrations from a ton of different artists over the decades, and I just love them so much. The Nursery Alice, this one's actually quite similar to the Little Folks edition, only the Nursery Alice is written for even younger readers. So it's got these gorgeous golden edges, and then inside have the Tenniel illustrations, only they are in color. Another one of my favorites, this is the pop-up book by Robert Sabuda. Like, look at that. Yeah, I really like this one. This obviously isn't a copy of Alice, but it is the poetry of Lewis Carroll, who is my favorite poet, and also obviously the author of Alice in Wonderland. I got this copy from the dollar store a couple years ago. It is abridged, unfortunately, but the illustrations are super cute. And it's illustrated by Jason Alexander. This is just a copy of Alice's Adventures Underground, which for anyone who doesn't know is like the original manuscript for the story. So it's got the original Lewis Carroll illustrations. This copy of Through the Looking Glass, once again, looks and smells just like printer paper, but it includes Wasp in a Wig, which is a deleted scene from Through the Looking Glass, which is super cool, because I think this is my only edition that includes that scene. But as you can see, the illustrations are not printed with the highest quality ink. Lewis Carroll's Puzzles in Wonderland by R.W. Galland is just a collection of all these Alice-themed, like, riddles and puzzles and games and stuff, and it's super cute. This is the Usborne graphic novelization by Russell Punter and Simona Bersi. And if you're looking for a graphic novelization of the book, I would strongly recommend this one. It stays super faithful. It's pretty much like word for word from the original text. And the illustration style is just stunning. I adore it. I know I keep saying that, but like, it's true. Like, look at those. It's so pretty. And last but certainly not least is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Other Classic Works by Lewis Carroll. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. And then here's what it looks like under the dust jacket. Shiny. This includes Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Through the Looking Glass, Sylvie and Bruno Concluded, The Hunting of the Snark, and Puzzles from Wonderland. Those were all my books, so now I'm going to move on to some of my Wonderland-related knickknacks. Here is this cute little enamel pin of the caterpillar scene. This little hedgehog bubble head. This is from Ever After High. Was I the only one obsessed with Ever After High in like 5th grade? That show was good. Then I have these little Tsum Tsums I bought from Toys R Us right before it closed down. R.I.P. Toys R Us. Oh yeah, and obviously this one is Alice, and this one is the Cheshire Cat. This little Wonderland themed pocket watch. This Cheshire Cat mug, it says "We're all met here" on the back. And for some reason I always keep this like little flamingo in it. I don't know why. I never use it for drinking. I just use it for flamingo holding. Once again, from Ever After High, we had this little kitty Cheshire doll. I remember I really wanted like all the Wonderland themed Ever After High dolls. But then they've all discontinued, and this is the only one I got to purchase before the line was discontinued, and I was devastated, and that was the saddest day of my entire life. And for some reason, I also kept the box that the doll came in, and this has been in my closet for like 5 years. This Alice magnet, which has blue tack on the back. And then this Alice in Wonderland book box, which is one of my favorite items I own. Inside, I have this little teapot necklace, the comb that Ever After High doll came with, or the brush or whatever this is, and then the sleeve that came with my copy of the Nursery Alice. I also got this. Oh my gosh! And then there's also this really bad drawing I made when I was like 12 of Alice. I'm not into tarot like at all, but I do have this little deck of Alice in Wonderland tarot cards because I thought the art in them was just so pretty. I got this Alice in Wonderland lip balm for a gift one time, and I love lip balm, don't get me wrong, but I'm just so scared to open it because the packaging is so cute. On the back it says, made in the USA by a duck and a dodo, a lorry and an eaglet. Like, that's funny, come on. Then I've got these Alice themed bookmarks, which I initially thought were metal when I bought them, but they're literally paperboard, so I regret spending $6 on 4 bookmarks, but hey, at least they're cute, right? And they're magnetic. So you can see I've got the pocket watch, the cards, the drinking bottle, and the hat. And I'm not sure if that text is readable, but it says quotable and notable page clips. Great as bookmarks, but it can also be used in place of staples or paper clips. Wow, really selling me on this. I kept the script from when I was in the stage play of Alice in Wonderland, which was one of the coolest experiences of my whole entire life. And as you can see, I've still got my lines highlighted. I still kept this Alice dress that I wore for Halloween in like 2019. This Cheshire Cat tote bag, which I love. I used to be really into Funko Pops for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. Nowadays I think they're just a little bit tacky, but I have the Queen and King of Hearts, Alice, and the Mad Hatter. Also, I do normally keep them outside of their boxes, but for now they are in their boxes because they're being stored away somewhere. Until I can get a new shelf. Oh my god, I'm still recording? I've got this Alice in Wonderland t-shirt from the Disney movie. I've got this little Alice notebook that I plan on turning into like some sort of scrapbook or bullet journal or something. And then this little Cheshire Cat sticker and this little Alice in Wonderland sticker. And I'm pretty sure that's it. That's my entire collection. Thanks for watching, bye! Oh my gosh, and I completely forgot to show you, I've got these little mint tins and I've got like a gross amount of them, but they used to hold peppermints and now they're just the tins.